This is Ikemba One TV, redefining African culture and the spirit.
Okay, hello wonderful viewers, welcome to ikemba One TV, and my name is African Chinese Queen Emilia. On today's show we'll be talking about made in Nigeria, made with grace. I'm not here alone. I have lots of distinguished guests right here in the studio. So while I go on a short break, when I come back, I'm going to introduce them for you. Stay tuned.
A heart that beats with pride, that celebrates the essence of our heritage and dynamism of our future. The richness of our tradition and vibrancy of our celebration.
Experience the pinnacle of African entertainment.
Show some love. Put your hands together for MOP!
Lifestyle choice from cutting-edge technology
Let's go, Vincent.
to cultural fashion. Stay informed with latest news updates within Africa and beyond. Dive into the world of African cinema where stories come to life.
Peace, progress, and stability in the family.
With a diverse lineup of educative shows and inspiration.
This is Ikemba One TV, redefining African culture and the spirit.
Welcome back to ikemba One TV, and it's still your African Chinese Queen Emilia Donatus. So by my right, I have His Royal Excellency, the one and only ikemba One, live with me on the studio. And by my left, I have the great ambassador himself in the building. Meanwhile, they will still be doing other formal introductions to you. But today's topic, we're talking about made in Nigeria, made with grace. On October 1st, we talked about being a patriotic citizen. So I'm pretty sure that as a Nigerian, you need to understand that Nigerians actually have an identity, and we are being identified by our culture and traditions. So with my guest in the studio today, we'll be talking about that. But let's have His Royal Excellency, Ikemba One. Welcome, Your Majesty.
Thank you, African Chinese Queen Emilia.
Yes, my king.
It's always good to be on the show with you. Thank you, viewers, for always tuning in with us as we continue to redefine African culture and spirit. I am His Royal Excellency, Eminent King Professor Onyeche Promise Obinna, Ikemba One of Iche ethnicity, the first African Royal Emperor of Peace, sitting on the ancestral ancient throne of Olakwa Grishi as Onyeche. Thank you, Emilia, for this great topic, and I believe it's going to be awesome discussing about made in Nigerian products and the grace.
That's pretty good. Thank you, my king. So today we'll be talking about creativity, grace through fashion, art, and media. But before we come back to the topic, let's get a formal introduction from the ambassador himself.
Thank you for having me.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Chief Ambassador Edward.
Okay, nice to have you, sir, Mr. Edward. Okechukwu, our great ambassador. So today, like I said, we're talking about made in Nigeria and made with grace. There's this saying that says Nigerians know they carry last. Nigeria know they carry last. If I have to be on a Nigerian English here. But today we have lots to talk about. From my guests that I like to ask, and I'm pretty sure that everybody wants to hear what we're talking about today. So, to you, my king, when we talk about made a Nigerian, made with grace, as a royalty, can you tell me one significant thing that Nigerians are known for?
Thank you. As a proud Nigerian, very, very proud Nigerian, an ancestral and indigenous king who understand the concept of Nigeria from the peculiarity of our ethnic diversity
Okay.
to our identity and our cultural values. When you talk about made in Nigeria products, you are talking about products that represent the Nigerian arts, culture, and tradition. Because to every region, to every ethnicity, there is a symbol of identity,
Okay.
which their products must replicate. So made in Nigerian products are those products that replicates, represents, and showcase our culture, our tradition, our ethics, our norms. What are the made in Nigerian products and what is the history? Immediately after independence in 1960, Nigerians began to think within the immediate environment how to promote the ingenuity through cultural diversity. And that is why the first made in Nigerian product concept started from Aba, the today Abia State.
Okay, that brings me to the next question, my king. Because while we have historical analysis from my special guest, we have to make this more organizational communication today. Talking about made in Nigeria and made with grace. My second question to you is if Nigerian were a person, how would you describe her style and grace?
If Nigeria was a person, the clear description of her style and grace is divine.
Why divine?
The power of divinity is the
Okay.
power of creativity. Because whatever that is divine comes beyond your physical ability and strength. Why we continue to say that Nigerians are unique beings is because to everything a Nigerian does, there is this concept of divinity in it. Nature. A Nigerian must have a touch of nature in whatever he does, and that is divinity. Divinity is nature. The concept of made in Nigerian product is the concept of Nigerian they carry last. Because to everything a Nigerian does, he must include that symbol of whom he is, that identification, that originality, that classification that I am Nigerian. How do we go about that? The way I'm dressed, I am putting on a made in Nigerian product.
Okay. So, what is one Nigeria made product or creative piece you're proud to support?
That I will proudly support.
Yes.
Our textile.
Okay.
The textile industry was one of the major key sector that brokered the made in Nigerian product. The textile, our shoe industries, we are the first products that identified with made in Nigeria. The Aquates, the Nigerian George, which symbolizes region. The type of judge that rivers wear is different from the type of judge that the Easterners wear.
Okay.
So the made in Nigeria is a concept that officially the Akwetes are worn by the Easterners. Now the riverine judge, which is more of the Niger Delta concept, has its classification that when you put it on, you will know that this person is a riverine person. Now, the Mpuroka is mostly identified by the Imo and Abia people. The Mpuroka. There is this textile that is called Mpuroka.
Okay.
So to every region, the Yorubas, they have their textile faction. The Northerners, they have their textile faction. So to every region, there is a textile faction that defines whom they are. Culture, tradition, and their symbol of identity, which is the uniqueness in their belief.
Okay, right away, we're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we will continue on today's topic, Made in Nigeria, Made with Grace. And this is Ikemba One TV. Keep watching. Welcome back, guys, to Ikemba One TV, and it's still your African Chinese Queen Emilia. On today's show, we're talking about Made in Nigeria, Made with Grace, and I still have my distinguished guest in the building, His Royal Excellency Ikemba One, and by my left, Chief Ambassador Patrick. Also, Chief Edward by my left. So right away, we're going to be having Chief Edward to talk to us. Welcome, Chief Edward. So I have this question for you. Knowing about the topic that we say, Made in Nigeria, Made with Grace. So what message do you have for the young dreamers who believe their Made in Nigeria talent can change the world?
Thank you for that question.
Okay, sir.
They say charity begins at home. And when a child is grown very well, he will not walk away from norms, values of that home where he comes from.
Okay.
So as youth coming home, they need to find something to do, get busy from their cradle to adolescence and adulthood. And when we imbibe in this culture, tradition we are talking about, which the television where we have studio where we are discussing this issue, we do so much in. We promote our culture very well, and the ones coming behind will also take the same step, to keep it and then promote it a lot more better. Because that distance, you have these things going on, and an American will tell you he's an American, very proud, and other they will do so as well. So we who are Africans, especially Nigerians, should also promote us as youth. We should be identified with that which we can produce. There are some of the fabrics and some other fashion we can talk about. And of course, I remember the butter shoes those days in this country. We are producing them. And then it was going places.
But sorry to say this, Maki. Some of Nigerian youths are not proud of their own products because they feel is inferior. So prioritize the Western products over their Nigerian. So as an elder who is more experienced, what is your advice to those young youths coming up believing that Made in Nigeria is fake? Made in Nigeria is fake. The one shipped from the Western now is original. How do you inculcate productivity in their heads to be proud of their originality based on your experience as an adult?
Thank you for that question. All you need to do is just to improve on what you are doing.
Okay.
Because if you bring in sophistication into it, you go places. Those things that makes them reject our products or look at it as inferior will no longer be there. But there are some fine things. I was really surprised when the former senior president, Senator Bukola Saraki, was putting on Abame shoes and he was showing it on the telecast that these things should be promoted here and people should, Nigerians should be proud of what we produce here rather than out there. And when people of that caliber can do so, is it the youth who have not even known how to make money that will begin to go outside to go and patronize other people's services? It is better for you to patronize your own before going outside.
Okay.
Encourage them.
Thank you so much. You've heard from Chief Edward Patrick. You have to improve on your skill. I like to say he's saying authenticity is the clarity. So for your creation to be adopted as a Nigerian, you have to improve on your craft, right? You have to improve on your craft and add more creativity to it. So over to you, my chief. To the last question I have for you before we call it a wrap. Now, to the creative, I believe as a king, you're very experienced in your craft. As a philanthropist who is also a businessman. Now, what challenges do you think Nigerian creators face in gaining international recognitions as entrepreneurs or creative? You talked about creation of textiles, our cultures and traditions. Now, while we create our fabrics and textiles, what makes us unique as Nigerians, I believe these creators face challenges in shipping or producing their products over to the Westerns.
The basic challenge we face is identity.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, the basic challenge every Nigerian face globally is identity.
Okay.
Because when you say I'm a Nigerian, even some people find it difficult to proudly showcase their passport, the green passport, because of identity issue.
Okay.
Then what happens to our national image? That is the question. Our national image has been bastardized by those who are supposed to model it.
Okay.
That is why we decided to partner with National Orientation Agency. I'm a member of the Nigerian Books of Record, the NBR. And in NBR, we have the Nigerian Hall of Fame. And also we have Nigerian Image Making Commission. Our team is currently in Europe promoting Nigerian image. A lot of Nigerians, when they travel abroad, they behave well. But when they come to Nigeria, they become so lawless.
Okay.
So lawless, so impugned with so much immunity. Because they feel that they are Nigerians and nothing happens here. But when they go to another man's country, you see them behaving well. So this psychological mentality that when you're in Nigeria, you misbehave, it's what is killing the Nigerian brand.
Okay.
There must be a culture of respect for our identity, respect for our nationhood, respect for our products. Nobody go talk say mama soup no sweet.
That's
so if you're a Nigerian, you must be proud that you are a Nigerian. Anywhere you are, be proud of whom you are. If somebody wants to put you down, you tell that person, you can never put me down. I am a Nigerian. Look at what our Super Falcons did during the Nations Cup. They were 2 goals down by the host nation, Morocco. But they said, no, Nigeria, they carry last. The power of resilience in Nigeria made these ladies stood up.
And they won.
And they won.
Yeah,
they
that's
are
true.
class with the noise, with the crowd, with everything. That is the Nigerian spirit. No matter the power of intimidation, no matter the challenges, no matter what you face, at that point of challenge, at that point of intimidation, nobody go tell me say Nigerian product is not original.
Of course.
Because the one way they bring from China, let us speak Nigeria now. The one where they bring from China, is it more original than Nigeria?
No.
It's not. It is the power of belief. Let us believe in our system. Let us believe in our product. Let us embrace what we have. What I'm putting on now is made in Nigeria. The clothes I'm putting on, the cap is a native cap. The beads I'm putting on, all I'm putting on here is made in Nigeria. I am proud to wear Nigeria. And I cannot to wear Nigeria until I die. The ability in focusing in ourselves, if you don't believe in yourself, you cannot achieve anything. Let every Nigerian believe in made in Nigerian product. We have people manufacturing vehicles now. I was surprised that our governors are still patronizing automobile vehicle companies from other clients. So when we have companies in Nigeria that is still producing some vehicles, let me tell you, to every region producing anything, they consider their weather condition. When you wear things that are made in Europe, they are made under European weather condition.
Exactly.
If you wear things that are made in Nigeria, you are wearing things that are made out of Nigerian weather condition because the raw materials are weather friendly. There are shoes when you buy them from abroad, you wear them within 1 year because of it is made for low temperate region, and you are wearing it in a hot temperate region. Those shoes peel. We've seen a lot of things. You bring in materials from abroad, they don't stand the weather condition here, and they get bad. So it is better for Nigerians to patronize their own. Like what the chief ambassador said, enhancing technology through quality creation. Nigerians should, in as much as we're advocating for Nigerians to embrace made in Nigeria, Nigerians also add quality to what we produce. So that Nigerians can proudly, I love what the governor of Abia State is doing. You know, to every bad news, there is also an atom of good news.
Of course.
The previous governor of Abia State, Okezi Azo, came up with Aba-made products to the world.
Made in Aba.
Made in Aba. He brought in companies, brought in investors, and they began to market Aba-made shoes, market clothes, market a lot of things. They began to, even military hardwares were produced in Aba for Nigerian military. A lot of things were made in Aba, of high quality. The military hardware, a lot of things were made in Aba. These things were things Nigerians were importing. Now, the power of promotion, the power of quality, the power of value, the power of faith, these are the things we must encourage as a nation.
Okay. Thank you so much, Makinka. Incredible views. You've heard what our Eze Ikemba has said, and I'm pretty sure you all have your exclusive questions to ask. Made in Nigeria, made with grace is a very strong topic that we would want you to actually express yourself. Those questions that has been bothering your mind as a young entrepreneur, those questions that has been bothering your mind as a creator, we're ready to discuss them. We have professionals who's here to give you legal advice from their experience. But while I sign out, I'd like to ask this last question to the king, and it is, how do you stay authentic while trying to meet global standards? The king says that you should, Chief Edward says you should improve in your craft. The king said, we are not proud of our products. We lack value, we lack promotion, we lack faith. So now, let's assume, Your Highness, that we have faith, we have value, we have promotion. How do we stay authentic while trying to meet global standards? Because today, word, our nationality in other sectors actually facing lots of challenges. Because of identity, as you said, number one. Now, number two, as a young entrepreneur who is actually very, very optimistic, proud and positive of my identity, my originality as a Nigerian, and I want to go to the US, United States, to promote my production or my creativity. How do I meet up their standards, knowing fully well that there is a high level of competition? So as an experienced philanthropist, what would be your advice?
Perfect.
To the young creators?
I love this question. When you bring your standard to me, it becomes your standard.
Okay.
When I take my standard to you, it becomes my
Standard.
The Afrobeat
Okay.
is the African standard, is the Nigerian standard. We took it to the world. We sold it to the world. Now the Afrobeat has absorbed the other climes style of music. Now everybody wants to vibe to the Nigerian music.
Okay.
Everybody wants to vibe to that. You want to sing Flavor, you want to sing Davido, you want to sing Whiskey, you want to sing this, you want to sing that, because that is our standard. What you call a standard becomes a standard. Then value. In as much as we are conceptualizing culture in what we do, we must add value to that.
Okay.
Look at the South Africans, the Zulu kingdom. Wherever they go, they wear their textile.
Very well. 100%.
Even their kings goes to United Nations programs with their native
Their identity.
costumes, means of identification. That is their standard. And the world must accept it because it is their standard. So when you put on ground, so long as there is value to that, it becomes a standard. So Nigerians should do what? Continually conceptualize what they believe in and what they value. Put it to the world. Even if you make shoe out of a palm stripe, the things you stripe from the palm tree, you don't use it to make shoes. Even if you make shoes out of it, the world can accept it as a standard, provided there is value. People can wear it for a period, like a year, two, and thereabout. There is this walkabout, a free slip-on. One of my very faithful followers from Aba brought for me an Aba-made footwear, customized with the crown of the king on it. It's a white footwear. I love it so much. And each time I put on that footwear, I feel royalty.
Okay.
I feel royalty because there is value to it. The concept, the crown, the pattern of costuming it makes me feel royalty around it. And I love wearing it on special occasions. It is made in Aba. It is made in Niger. It is an African product.
And it's made with grace.
It's made with grace because the divinity in the thinking aspect of that creativity, the thought, it is for a king. I must put a crown. It is for a king.
That's actually distinguish it from others.
Any other thing. So for you, I keep talking about brand. We must create a brand. We must costume our brand. It must represent what we have in mind. Okay. And that is how you promote locally made product and give it a local standard that will meet an international standard.
Thank you so much, Makinga. That was a very beautiful approach and advice to the younger generations. And I want you to understand that the summary of this topic is value makes a difference in your results. Yeah. If you actually want to meet a global standard, you have to ensure that your value is top-notch. And don't forget, originality pays. Yeah. Authenticity is the clarity. And while I give you the sign-out punch, I like to hear the final words from our great ambassador, Chief Edward. Please give us your final words on this very particular topic. What do you have to say right away? Now I have to ask you this question. What role does storytelling play in Nigerian fashion, art, and media? We have talked about textile. We've talked about culture and tradition. We've talked about our skills. So now, we talked about value. What role does storytelling play in our art, fashion, and media? Afrobeat has been discussed. It is part of the art. Yeah. Textile has been discussed. It's part of the art. So when a creative is bet on action, how do you tell the story for the value to be imbibed by the global standards? So we want to hear from you, your final words.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In history, talk about oral tradition from one generation to another. When you hear that and it's not distorted, makes it an elegant theory. And it will prove most of the known facts. And as they continue to hear this often and on, it will broaden their horizon, and they will inculcate that to the coming generation, the one coming after them.
Okay.
And when they imbibe in that, we will fine tune everything. Quality assurance will be there.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. You've heard from His Royal Excellency Ikemba One, and you've heard also from our distinguished guest, Ambassador Edward Patrick. And you've also heard from the host today, your African Chinese Queen. In all, we're saying made in Nigeria, made with grace. Is authenticity brings the clarity. Originality pays, and don't forget, branding also we give you the enablement to meet up the global standard. So we still look out to get your questions and keep watching Ikemba One TV. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media pages. On Facebook, Ikemba One. On Instagram, Ikemba One. On Twitter, Ikemba One. And don't forget to TikTok it at Ikemba One too. And do want to subscribe to our YouTube channels at Ikemba One. And don't forget, I am your African Chinese Queen, your host, and don't want to follow me on social media at Everything Queen Emilia Donatus. Do not forget, originality pays, authenticity is the clarity, and this is Made in Nigeria, made with grace. See you next time. We love you.
A heart that beats with pride, that celebrates the essence of our heritage and dynamism of our future. The richness of our tradition and vibrancy of our celebration.
Experience the pinnacle of African entertainment.
Show some love. Put your hands together for MOP.
Lifestyle choice from cutting-edge technology
Let's go, Vincent.
to cultural fashion. Stay informed with latest news updates within Africa and beyond. Dive into the world of African cinema where stories come to life.
Peace, progress, and stability in the family.
With a diverse lineup of educative shows and inspiration.
Ikemba One TV, redefining African culture and the spirit.